Hey there, it's Ruth Sherman, CEO and celebrity speech and media coach. So today I want to talk to you about the importance of media training for celebrities. So you might be thinking, well, what does that have to do with me? I'm not a celebrity. It has more to do with you than you might think. So we'll get to that in a minute, but let me give you a little bit of a background on why it's so important for celebrities to be media trained. What happens is media for celebrities, of course, plays a huge role, an outsized role in how that celebrity is viewed and perceived by the public. They have to go on shows. The celebrities I work with me for one of three reasons. They have to promote a project, a TV show, or a movie. The movie or TV show may be of a controversial nature. They're new on the scene. Maybe they're young. They haven't faced the entertainment press before. Or finally, they've got something in their background that they want to mitigate. Something happened that didn't go so well in the media. Of course, jumps right on to that kind of thing because just think clickbait. The thing about celebrities is, and they know this and their handlers know this too, is that it's a lot easier to get it right the first time than it is to have to recover from a badly performed media appearance. And today, of course, we've got traditional media, right? Broadcast networks, radio, and so forth, but we've also got non-traditional media, new media, social media, video media, podcasts, and so forth, that it makes a lot of sense for everyone, celebrities and business owners and career professionals, to be very well prepared for. So, I have been a long-time celebrity coach, a long time worked with a lot of high-level celebrities, famous people who I walk into a room and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm with so-and-so. But, they're there to learn from me. So I bite my tongue and don't ask for pictures or autographs, and I get right down to work. And they're generally appreciative. Honestly, the celebrities that I've worked with have been uniformly earnest and hardworking. So, I've been very grateful for that. So let me go to my notes and make sure that I get to everything, because as I said, this does have something to do with you, particularly because media is so different these days. There's so much that we all do. If you're on social media, for example, if you have a Twitter account, if you are on Instagram, Facebook, if you do any of those, you're using a lot of images, perhaps you're using video. Now, you might also get called as an expert by traditional media. Maybe you're an expert in a particular area and something is in the news, and you call up that network and you say, I'm an expert in this area, you should interview me. So that's one way that you might be on a traditional broadcast media show. You also might write a book that you've got to get out there and promote. Most publishers, traditional publishers, will expect you to get out there and promote your book, certainly in the early stages, and start getting the buzz and the excitement going. You might have done something good too, or something interesting, and you might want to get out there and promote that. But in any event, as I said, media is not only anymore defined by the traditional outlets. You've got to be ready, because if you're on social media, you are doing media and you need to be media trained. All right, so here's the number one thing that I work on with my celebrity clients. I anticipate every question that they are likely to get. When I go into a media training session with my celebrity clients, I could have a list as big as 50 questions. That is a lot of questions. They are never going to get that many questions, but it's part of my job to know what they're out promoting. So I'll get to see the film or read the book or watch the TV series beforehand, before it's released to the public and before they're out there, and also know what it is they've done in the past. So review any media they've done, if they've got any types of video, or if they've done any of the shows. I get a chance to watch that and see what they did well and see what maybe needs some more coaching. So I work on all of that, and I come up with those, say, 50 questions, and especially at the very top are what we call the nightmare questions. Now, these are the questions that celebrities are likely to get. They often have to do with their personal lives. Perhaps they did something in their past that they're not too happy about. They don't want to talk about. All of the questions that you dread, and we all have them. these are the first questions that we work on. And this is because they're the hardball questions. They're the tough questions. So one of the things that most people, just as a self-protective stance that they take, it's instinct to think like, I don't want to even touch that. I don't want to go over it. But we have to go over it because if they come up, we have to figure out a way for them to answer those questions. I just worked with a celebrity client, and this individual happened to have something in the recent past that they wanted to avoid discussing. Now, because it wasn't a crime, it wasn't that this person did anything bad, it was controversial. It was a lot of controversy that was generated around it. So at first I thought, all right, I understand not wanting to talk about this, and let's just avoid it, and let me give you some tools where you can say, okay, I'm not going to talk about that, let's move on. But instead, what I decided after knowing this person and doing my homework was that it would be better and be much more in keeping with this person's personality and authentic brand if we confronted it head on. And so this person did. And it was just recent. It was a huge success. And I was so happy about that because there are always some unknowns. You really never know how things are going to go. But based on a lot of factors, I felt it would go well. Fortunately, the celebrity agreed, and so we went forward with it. So you've got to decide if there's something controversial in your background that you are fearful that might come out. Make sure that you go over it with your trusted advisors, or you hire a media coach to help you manage those types of questions. They're not as hard to answer as you might think, but they can be difficult if you haven't prepared for them. So that's number one. Number two, we have got to be very concise. Oh my gosh. We all like to talk a lot, right? Think about this though for a second. Whether you are in the traditional media, you're doing a broadcast interview, or you're doing a video, the broadcast outlets aren't going to give you more than 3 minutes, and the interviewer is going to do most of the talking. So you've really got to be able to get your message out and make sure that you're not mumbling or mealy-mouthed in half of the 3-minute period. Maybe you have a total of 1 minute where you're actually speaking, and then you could be subject to editing. So be mindful of that. If you're doing videos of your own, you're doing selfie videos, really, you should keep it to 2 or 3 minutes at the most, especially as you are beginning your career in that and you're looking to gain followership. So keeping things concise, making sure you get your main messages out, and make sure you tell people where they can contact you too. Most interviewers will ask you this, but even if they don't, make sure that you have some line ready before they sign off, where you tell people how they can reach you. Usually the name of your website is good enough. Don't give out your email or your phone number. Okay, so that's another thing. You've got to be comfortable on camera. You've got to look comfortable and have a command of the camera. This is different than doing doing live presentations or doing presentations on stages. I do both, so I know for sure that it's different. So make sure that you are ready. You look at yourself, practice, do some videos. If you haven't done them regularly, do some right away. The biggest tip that I can give you, and I've given this tip before in other videos and other e-zines that I've done, is to look into the camera lens, right? Just look into that camera lens. If you're doing a webcam video like I am right now, it's a little green signal, a little green light that goes on by the lens at the top of your screen. So make sure you're looking at that, not at your beautiful face, and on the video itself. Finally, media training. You need to focus on how you want to promote what it is that you're doing. As I said, you could get called on to be because you're an expert in a particular area and there's a current event that's just happened. You could be called on because you are an author of a book or you've done something good. So you want to be ready. That's really not so different from what the celebrities do. If you want to learn more about media training, hop on over to ruthsherman.com where you can subscribe and you'll get some free stuff, including some training videos about how to look great and comfortable on stage and on camera, and a whole bunch of other things, a whole bunch of other freebies, frankly. All right, I will see you there. Oh, and please subscribe here as well. All right, take care. Bye.